This is the story of one of America's great unsung heroes. I mean, you've seen him, but you never knew who he was. You've cheered for him and cried for him. Women have wanted to die for him. But did he ever get any credit? Or the girl? No. He was what we call a stuntman. And the reason I'm talking so fondly about him is, well, because...
This is Flip Flop. Before we get started, please hit the like button and subscribe if you enjoy these reviews and would like to see more. We would greatly appreciate it, and it would help our little channel grow. This week, we're leaping into the action-packed world of The Fall Guy, directed by stuntman-turned-director David Leitch. Starring Ryan Gosling as Colt Seavers, this film revs up the engine with daring stunts and high-speed chases. Did the Fall Guy stick the landing, or does it crash and burn? Buckle up as we dive into this stunt-fueled adventure on Flick Flops.
Yeah, The Fall Guy, Gary.
The Fall Guy.
Let's talk about some numbers right quick so we can get into the meat of this movie. Rotten Tomatoes, 81 with the critics, 86 with the audience. So it's a fairly positive reception of this film. Budget, I couldn't get a specific number. What I saw was it was somewhere between 125 and 150 million. So it's odd that they can't get specific, and I don't have access to the books to say what it really is, but yeah, who cares? Everybody's already tuned out by this point of the podcast anyway.
It's not quite 2.5 minutes yet.
I'm looking at my timer. Sorry. Box office, the number I found is up to 148.9 million. So it's close to making its money back, I guess. Written by Drew Pearce. We would know his work from Iron Man 3, Hotel Artemis, Fast and Furious, Hobbs and Shaw. Okay, so that's his pedigree. And of course, you mentioned David Leitch as the director. This guy directed Bullet Train, not Bullet, the original Bullet Train. I think that was the Brad Pitt movie that I couldn't stay involved in.
Yeah, we'll talk about that some other time.
Yeah, Deadpool 2 and Atomic Blonde are just some of the notable things. He also, this David Leitch guy, was involved in some of the John Wick movies as a producer.
Okay.
There's that. I did see that this film had been in development since 2010.
Wow.
Talking about making this movie. So it took them 13 years to get it made. That's all I got for numbers, so we can jump into
the good. All right, so for the good, I've got storyline and plot. Little check mark for that. Look, I think that
wrong.
Wow, I just got started. He's still upset about the Warriors. Anyway,
because you're nuts. You're wrong, Gary.
At first, I think the convoluted way that this sounds like bad, but it's not. But the convoluted way that gets Colt Seavers involved in the whole trying to find the missing actor seems a little on the ridiculous side. However, it is explained, which is why I want to put that in the good column, because while part of the movie you're watching it, you're thinking, what's going on here? Like, why would they have this guy do it? I think one of the things that this movie, if it did it, I missed it. It's relying a little bit of the nostalgia from the TV show. You have to know that on the side, Colt Seavers was a bounty hunter. I don't think that's addressed at all in this movie.
It's not.
And so to think about why would they have this guy go after the actor could be off-putting a little bit at first, I think, to somebody trying to look at the plausibility of the movie. There you go. He's got a note on. You want to say anything about that, or
I do?
Okay.
Because while they don't address that he was a bounty hunter, because he was a valet attendant. That's what they made his side job.
Right. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So this is where I thought they really dropped the ball here.
They missed an opportunity. Yeah, I forgot about that. That's a good point.
So it's like, they never, it was just a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Acting and performances. I like Ryan Gosling. I think he's hilarious. I've seen him on SNL and he's funny. He's very charismatic. I thought Emily Blunt and him had a good chemistry. I don't think there's any issue with any of the acting in the movie. I thought the action scenes, there you go. I thought the action scenes were what you'd expect from a stuntman-turned-director. I think there was a lot of cool stunts in it. There's a particularly good chase through the city with a
dumpster.
Yeah, dumpster that's hanging out the back. And I thought that was pretty cool. I liked it. But well, this isn't a bad, but it is a comment about the music of the film. I was surprised I had to wait till the ending to hear the theme song.
Yes.
I might fall from a tall building, I might roll a brand new car, 'cause I'm the unknown stuntman that made Redford such a star.
I really wanted to hear it at the beginning, but boy, did we hear about 5 different versions, or 5, 6, 10 different. I Was Made for Loving You by Kiss was the theme song of this movie.
That's my highlight of the movie.
I mean, it was played up and down the whole movie, multiple versions. You've got a symphony kind of version.
Gary, it's the best part of the movie.
You've got cover versions of it. Okay, it's pretty good, but yeah. So I mean, I'm not going to hide the fact that I enjoyed this movie. There are a couple of things I might pick at, but for the most part, I like this movie. I've got a lot of. I mean, that's a lot of good stuff for it. That I'll wrap it up and let you talk about your good things.
So for me, I put in our columns that we have here, direction and cinematography. This thing was a grand, sweeping film shot in Australia, and it was awesome. If you like explosions and car chases, this takes you back to the days of Hooper and Smokey and the Bandit. I mean, this stuff was great.
There you go.
I disagreed on storyline and plot. I thought it was just weak, but it didn't need to be. If you watch any action film, there's never a great plot to John Wick or Nobody or any of it. That's fine. I don't tune in for this. This is not. I'm not looking for an Oscar for the writer of this film. And I think the guy delivered that, but I don't think it was a good, because again, they missed some opportunities in this podcaster's opinion.
Hey, you made a good point about the ballet,
but the opening, the kiss, I Was Made for Loving You. I was like, my ears perked up. I was like, whoa, what are we doing now? For those that do not know, Kiss is a massive part of my life, and I had no idea. And what's interesting is I had heard this cover version by, I think the guy's name is Youngblood.
Yeah,
this modern version, and I was like, man, why'd this guy do this song to this movie?
Now you know.
Fast forward, focusing on it. I love Hannah Waddingham.
Oh yeah.
She's from, we know her from Ted Lasso, and I made this comment to my better half when we were watching this movie, and I said, she's like a female Hugh Grant, and I have a very odd love of Hugh Grant as an actor. So but I love her. I didn't like her character in this movie, but I love to see her, and I hope that she gets all the fame and success she deserves. Also, in the good special effects, I mean, this thing was made for special effects, so they would have. There's no way they could have dropped the ball on this thing. I love the pickup truck nod to the original TV show.
Yes.
Those little things I do love. Even the modern day pickup truck. Did you catch it was the same color scheme?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's a little golf clap on that one.
Yeah.
I enjoyed, I'll say subtle comedy, because I don't know that this was, it's not a straight on comedy, but it's a way of, there's action, and they're trying to move the story along about this. They're trying to find somebody, and the people are getting hurt. But there's always as you said, Ryan Gosling delivers some great subtle comic relief, and it's the way he delivers. And I think he's fantastic in this thing. And I will agree that the back and forth between him and Emily Blunt I bought every minute of it. Like I could see these two in real life. Like I buy everything they're doing. I have a note that the soundtrack is awesome. And did you catch, Gary? This one made me applaud during the movie by myself in the living room. The Bionic Man.
Yes, I did.
Sounds.
Yes, I did. I did.
I was like, oh my God.
I did. That was hilarious.
I was like, I love this guy. This guy's a great filmmaker for that reason alone.
Yeah.
So those are my good. And, I don't want to give away the plot is just nothing to give away. It's
Yeah.
a massive, massive action flick.
Yeah.
If you like cars blowing up and it's car chases, this is right up your alley. If you want this to move your soul, it is not up your alley at all.
Right. Yeah. I thought that you talk about missed opportunities. Why was what's his name? Douglas Barr, I think. They had Lee Majors and Heather
Thomas.
Yeah, I almost said Locklear.
I know I say it all wrong all the time.
And Heather Thomas at the end of it. But where was the other dude? It would have been nice to see him too. I don't know if there was some sort of conflict or who knows. But I loved having them at the ending, and I did like. I was upset that we didn't hear the theme song at all, but thankfully they saved it with the credits, which was not the original version that Lee Majors sang, but it was.
But they should have. They could have opened with like what.
That's what I was wanting.
What is wrong with using that theme song? Like when they redid Starsky and Hutch, they used down, you know.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. That thing's got a weird hook because ever since watching this movie, which was now a couple weeks ago, it's been stuck in my head ever since. I still have it going around in my head. It drives me crazy.
The Fall Guy?
Yeah, the Fall Guy
soundtrack.
Yeah.
It's a good tune.
Yeah,
it's reminiscent of this is back when like with the Dukes of Hazzard theme song. It's just a good song.
Yeah,
because they use songwriters. I mean, songwriters to write these songs. It was great.
Right.
So that's all I got. You anything bad to say about this, Gary?
Let's talk
to love the plot so much.
Let's talk about the bad. Well, to get to the point, since we're going into the bad, to get to my point about the plot thing, it was more of a note of the fact that they saved it. With the implausibility, I thought was kind of a bad thing at first, but it was saved by the ending. It does click and fit together. It's more of a nod to that than thinking it's some fantastic script or anything. But I just appreciated that you go into it and you may be thinking like, what the hell is all this going on? Like, and then it does have, I'm trying to be very vague about it because I don't accidentally say anything, but all right. So the bad. And that's where I have my note also, the plausibility thing. It's kind of a back and forth, an arrow going to each. There were a few odd timed events in there. And I mean that in the sense of you weren't sure of the timing of some things that were happening. There's a part where he's supposed to go to this karaoke bar, and then all this other stuff happens, and she's at the bar, and then there's stuff that goes by the window while she's still there, and it seems like it gets over, and it was just weird. There was some little timing thing there that was like, I don't know if that made sense. They had wrapped for the day, but yet it's still daytime. I don't know. I mean, maybe that's explained or makes sense to people in the business. I thought the timing was just a little weird on a few parts. The reception of this, I was surprised. I mean, the numbers are good and it made some money. I'm just surprised that it got in and out of theaters so quick. I'm surprised it went to streaming so fast.
Yeah.
I think that this is not a knock on the movie either, but I think that this is one of those things where it really heavily relies on knowing the show to have, good numbers on this. I don't think it was a bad idea to make this. I thought it was actually cool to bring back something that I really loved as a kid. I thought this was a great show. I loved the whole stuntman thing. And I thought they did a great job of the behind the scenes moments on the film they're shooting the whole time. I thought that was very cool to see that, but maybe that's part of why it didn't do great, because it is relying a little bit of that, I mean, we're the aging movie audience now. It's from our time period. So
they're not playing to us.
So none of that's really bad. It's just the only marks I have in that column to have something sort of to talk about in this section. Yeah. Well, overall, I just really enjoyed it. I had a great time watching it.
Yeah. So for me, the only thing I have checked in the bad side, I have two things, but one really they can't help. I checked storyline and plot because I just thought that there wasn't much there for it, in my opinion. But I also checked the originality box, but then I realized, like, no, I mean, it's not original because they're basing it off of a TV show. So I don't want to really make that nod to it. My only, again, this all gets back to the storyline, is that I just thought the story was weak, yet over the top. either make this a full-on action film or try to give it a plot. I mean, the guy who plays the actor,
Mhm.
the character of the actor,
Aaron Taylor Johnson.
sure.
Lost my voice for a second.
I hated his character. I hated every aspect of it. The guy was a dumbass. He's a jerk. I was like, why are we trying to save this guy? Let him die. He's an asshole.
Yeah.
I get it. You can't. And Hannah, her character is his manager, and that's fine. But just the whole thing was just, I don't know.
I mean, maybe that's showing a little bit of the bad side of Hollywood. You know, that you've got to have this marketable person that's making the show, and so you have to have
do anything.
To be the one, you know.
I guess, yeah. I mean, but again, I'll say, well, that's all I got for the bad, and we can move on to our ratings, and we can just move on from this film. We don't need to belittle it, or whatever, berate it.
All right,
whatever.
Let's do ratings. A quick reminder that our rating system is unconventional. We don't hand out stars, we hand out poos and TPs, up to 5 of them. And just to add more confusion, the more we give, the crappier we think the film is. Crappier, get it? Yeah, it's dumb, but that's the way we do it.
I'll go first if you'd like. I give this thing 3 poops, Gary.
3 poops. Wow.
Yeah, it's in the middle. It's in the middle for me. For an action film, if you just want to watch action, go for it. This is great. You'll enjoy it. I don't know that I would recommend it to anybody. That's where I sit at 3. I don't know that I would say, oh, you need to see this movie.
Yeah.
If someone says, was it good? In a way, yes. But I would say, but have you not seen the John Wick series, Doe Body? Have you not seen any of these other films? Because if you've seen all of those, then watch this. I know it sounds a little harsh. But I mean,
that's your take. It's fine.
And I will say this: having said it, I mean, it was entertaining. I wasn't angry. I didn't want to turn it off. I just was like, okay, it's a little too long, in my opinion. This didn't need to be 2 hours long.
Yeah. Well, I will go ahead and give you my score. I gave it 1 TP. 1 TP. I actually enjoyed this quite a bit.
What?
I enjoyed it. What's funny is about halfway through, I got a phone call, and the friend of mine that I called was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Watching a movie with Tara," and Tara's in the background, and she goes, "It's all right." And I'm like, "Really? Like, are we watching this?" Like for me, I was like, "Are we watching the same movie?" But then again, she says that about everything. You can watch a block.
Tara's on my side.
You can have a 5-star film, and Tara would sit down and watch it and go, "It was all right." But for me, I really enjoyed it. I couldn't give it a 0 score or 0.5 or anything like that. Because I do think there's a couple things, and the missed opportunity of the valet thing. That's a great catch. I don't know why they didn't put the bounty hunter thing in there, but
make him a bounty hunter because it was the whole gist of his character.
Which would have made all of it make a little bit more sense. But I enjoyed it. I thought it was a great movie for action comedy.
Yeah.
Aces for me. So,
all right, there we go.
Well, there you go.
That's all I got, man.
Please like, comment, subscribe, and let us know if you saw The Fall Guy and what you thought about it. Am I right or is Andy right? I'm right, right? Right.
Gary's wrong.
See you, everybody.
This has been a Touch of Madness production. Brought to you by the creative minds at Tummy Twins Media.